Greetings, YouTube, to the Nameless Nerd Show, the show that is like a steaming hot bowl of chicken soup poured straight into your lap. Comments, questions, suggestions, just hook us up at nerdsnameless@gmail.com. And I'm really happy today, folks, and you know why? Because today we start a little section that I like to call Great Moments in What the Hell Were You Thinking? It's a segment where we talk about the weird, wacky, and just plain stupid things that people have done that were reported in the news that just make you lose faith in humanity.
You've
And
already explained it. Just start talking about it. That's enough of that already.
I will explain it as I see fit. And this world has so much secret. As I like to say, ignorance is fleeting, stupidity is forever, and we sure hope so. So let's go ahead and get this kicked off with our first little bit of news. Where is it? Here we are.
If you got to look for it, it's not news.
But if you got to look for it, if you don't have to look for it, it's not the internet. All right, so we got one here. There's a soccer player was thrown out of the game for farting. Adam Linden Ljungqvist. I guess that's how
Some
you
guy in
pronounce it.
another country. What team does he play on?
That doesn't say. At least I haven't read that far.
Then it might not be real. Huh? What an idea.
Anyway, he's from Sweden. It says he had a bad stomach ache and farted a few times during the game until the referee gave him a red card, sending him out of the game. So it says Swedish footballer has hit out after being sent off for breaking wind during a match, with the referee accusing him of deliberate provocation and unsportsmanlike behavior. And the local media
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Continue
the
to
local
pretend.
media called it bizarre circumstances. I don't know if there's circumstances as bizarre as somebody just farting a lot, but wow, I guess the Europeans really take soccer seriously. I mean, you can't even fart. I mean, what is it they have to just get it all out before the game? I mean, when somebody trips them and then they go tumbling. But if you let out one little squeak, they hit you with a yellow card. I mean, wow.
I mean, think about it. Imagine American-style football in the center is having gas. That's not going to be too good of a thing. So I understand it there. But in, what's that thing?
Soccer.
Yeah, that socialist round ball sport that they call football? Who cares, dude? Just run over to the corner of the field and just stand there for a minute. What is it? 53 meters wide is the width of the field. Just run over to the sides, and go, "Ooh, what a queef!" Well, not a queef, but what a gas pass, and just move on, man. It's not that hard. Jeez Louise, dude.
Well, maybe they were getting in a real close range. Maybe the guy was just incontinent. But I mean, wow. I just
Close to.
I
Or he
mean,
could have just been a facetious butt and was doing it next to the referee, and the referee went, "Dude, quit it. I'm gonna red card you." And then he just got really upset.
you got to understand this is that soccer is a game that they take it really seriously in Europe. Towns have been burned to the ground because of soccer. All right,
That's why it's a socialist sport, and I don't like it.
dude. Towns in the U.S. have been burned to the ground for ice hockey. Okay,
Well, no, North America, yeah, ice hockey. I don't know, man. Think about it. How many people are that gung ho about ice hockey?
quite a few actually up north.
Yeah, where do you live at?
I live in Louisiana.
So you live in the South, okay? Yeah, ice hockey. We go to the ice rink so we ain't gotta fill up the cooler.
Well, down here in Louisiana, there's a saying: we only got two sports, politics and football, and that's kind of true. But even down here, where football is life, football is happiness. You don't have entire towns getting burned to the ground because your team lost. I've never seen that much of a I've never seen that much mayhem produced by Dallas winning a game or New Orleans winning a game or Atlanta Falcons or what have you. But I mean this a guy farts on the field and he gets a red card. Poor guy. Oh Lord.
Don't say
That's just
no.
what's up?
Don't say no. I'm sorry. Just go ahead, man. Pretend to keep telling me something that's interesting.
Oh, okay. Well, you want interesting? Okay. Where was I here? Unconventional weaponry. Man tries to rob a video store with a Jello box.
Nice.
A Jello.
Nice. I like that one.
File this under how? What?
Would you like me to give you an example?
Do I have to?
No. Would you like to?
I'm probably going to regret this. Go ahead.
Guy walks into a location, puts his hand in his pocket, has a Jello box in his pocket, and goes, "Hey, give me all your money."
Oh God. Oh God. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I've seen this happen before, where people go up in a convenience store and they have their you just clearly their finger in their pocket, but they have it in their jacket pocket, making it look like they're trying to hold the store up with a gun. And I'm just like, if I was behind that counter, I'd be like, show me your gun. You know, don't
See, that's what makes you that is what makes me know that you're from Louisiana. Cause see, where I'm from in the big bad north, you don't go to somebody show me your gun. That verifies that they're a criminal. And when you verify that they're a criminal, now they become unsuspected, and you might wind up getting shot.
why would somebody, if he has a gun, see down here in the dirty, if he has a gun, he'll have a gun in his hands. He's not gonna have something that makes it look like he's got his finger in his pocket. He's holding the store up. If somebody comes up to you with, you can't even see the gun, it just looks like he's got his finger in his pocket and says, "Give me all your money." If you give him all your money, you're stupid. You know, because I mean, just say, "Yeah, I'll give you my money when I see your gun."
Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness!
What?
Okay, Let, now I didn't think today's show was going to turn into how to rob people, but I'll give you a segment on how to rob people. Why not? But number one, this is how you act if you're the victim of a robbery. If someone walks up to you and say, "Give me your money or I'm going to shoot you," you don't give them all your money. You give them half or enough to make them go away. And trust me, they will. If someone walks up to you and says, "I got a gun, give me your money," give them your money. If they say all of it, you really have to deeply consider, is it worth your life or your money?
If somebody comes up to me saying, "Give me your money, I got a gun," and I don't see a gun on them, I will politely tell them to go take a long walk off a short pier.
See, I'm trying to tell you the truth here before you wind up being one of these stories of what the hell were you thinking? Now, if someone walks up to you with their gun out, don't wait for them to ask you a question. Give them your money. If you notice, all three scenarios end with you giving someone some of your money. All three of those scenarios wind up with you getting to go, "Officer, I have no idea what was going on. He asked for my money and I gave it to him. Officer, I have no idea what was going on. He asked for my money. He said he had a gun. Officer, he showed me his gun and I just said, hell, take it." All three of those scenarios wind up with you surviving. And all three of my scenarios where you would go, "Show me your gun," you wind up not talking to the officer, but you wind up talking to the surgeon or the mortician.
Well, that remains to be seen. But in the case of the guy with the Jello box, it says a West Virginia man recently attempted to rob a video store wielding an empty Jello box, claiming the container held a bomb. Oh,
Oh,
that
that's nice. I like that one. That one's good.
I have a Jello container and it holds a bomb. Yeah, what, the bomb is gonna annoy you with weird Bill Cosby voice? Well, I don't know.
No, no,
Anyway,
no, no. That was brilliant. That was brilliant.
I have a bomb in a Jello box. Really?
Yes. Yes. But watch this. Both you and I are thinking of what is the size of a Jello box to us, aren't we?
Yes.
Okay. It had the word Jello on it. They didn't tell you how big the box was. And if it was a little regular sized Jello box, how big could the bomb be?
It actually it does. It says
Shows
it
you a
was some
picture of a
kind of
Jello.
Yes, he said it was some kind of cheesecake dessert. Not sure if it was pre-made. Said Sergeant James, Assistant Chief of Detectives for Charleston Police. I think he just bought it at Kroger. Then he ate it. Then he got the notion to go in and rob the business. So this was either if it's a cheesecake dessert, then it's going to be the bigger box if it's got all the stuff for a cheesecake, or it's going to be one of those teeny weeny little boxes that that has that has the thing the just has a little picture of the Jello thing on it.
This is cray cray.
Yeah, it is.
But anyway, I'll let you continue.
All right. And let me see, we've got some more really crazy stuff here. Oh, but let me finish this article because the rabbit hole sometimes just gets deeper and deeper and deeper. It says, luckily no one was hurt. Really, you think? However, this raises a question. Does it count as a weapon if its intent was to inflict mad cow disease? What?
See,
Oh, God, and there's a link. There's a link to this article.
Don't
the
you dare.
cow disease thing. I have to see.
Don't you dare. Don't do it. That's how you wind up getting viruses.
No.
Sticking your mouse pointer in places you don't want to go.
It's a link to I already went there. It's a link to a news site, and they're just saying that Jello might carry mad cow disease. Okay, I thought it was this. I thought it was a link to the actual article that this originally came from, and which was probably going to say this guy said that the bomb was going to spread mad cow disease. Thankfully, it didn't get that stupid. It would be glorious if it did, but yet I don't know if my brain cells would be able to take that. So the Jello gentleman later came to his senses about his choice of what. Oh God! He later came to.
Let me help you. Let me help you. Let me help you here.
Oh God!
There was an old man from Nantucket.
Oh no! Stop!
Okay.
Before Parrish admitted to committing the crime, he watched the tape of the robbery with detectives. He said, "It looks like a Jello box." We said, "Yeah, we think so too." Wow. So I could put a stamp of drugs were involved on this. Well, then again, maybe not. But I'm just saying, what person in his right mind is going to actually think a person's going to believe a Jello box contains a bomb? Good God. And why would you put a bomb in a? There's so much why in this. I should not ask because it's starting to hurt.
I can make most things credible.
You can what?
I can make most things credible.
Yeah, okay.
Would you like an example?
You see, is this another one of these stupid dirty limericks that you're about to start again?
I can make most things credible. Would you like an example?
This is probably going to end up being similar to ending a fortune cookie with in bed, but go ahead.
Okay. Well, I had macaroni and cheese for dinner. I made a little bit of Uncle Ben's rice yesterday, and I had Jello for dessert today. The macaroni box, I couldn't find enough stuff to fit in it, and besides, when you shake macaroni, you can tell that it's macaroni in the box, so I can't use that. And then, if I use Uncle Ben's rice, everybody knows that nobody eats Uncle Ben's rice. You got to get Zatarans, but I'm poor and I'm cheap, so I can't take that out in public. But wait, everybody understands Jello. All right, I'll use his Jello box, and I'll pretend that there's a bomb in it. Okay, why am I going to pretend that there's a bomb that small in there? Because it can fit in my pocket and the police wouldn't even notice. That's why I used it. Now, once I've done that, good. I'm on my way. It's a good idea. All right, I'm on my way to the store. All I gotta tell Abdul know who I am, but still, he gonna give me all the money behind the counter because he don't like his father. His father always treat me mean when he in the store. Abdul always gives me a thumbs up. So if I show him the box with the Jello and tell him that it has a bomb in it, he'll give me the money. He'll just write out for insurance. Yeah, that's a good idea. Do you understand how stupid that sounds, but plausible?
I got the stupid part right.
But plausible.
No, your words started de-evolving into the rantings of a homeless person.
See, now you're assuming that homeless people rant.
Trust me,
No,
I've seen some that do.
they're just talking on their Bluetooth that you can't see.
Okay, you're starting to hurt me. Anyway,
You're
with the
making me
current
do this.
with the current state of video rental business, he may have also later realized that he should have planned some sort of identity fraud on Netflix customers instead. Okay, I don't know where that one came from, but good lord, I mean,
See, I thought they were going to say that he watched the movie 30 Minutes or Less, which delivers a bomb in a pizza box, which is bogus anyway.
I just think that using a bomb to hold up a store, even if he did have a bomb in there, is counterintuitive. Because of the bomb, unless you have a remote device to set it off, or you have a wick to light, and even then, if somebody lights the thing, you're going to need to give it enough time for the fuse to run out so you can leave the store in a hurry. But that just gives the other person enough time to actually step on the wick and snuff it out before it has a chance to get to the explosives. So yeah, a bomb just totally counterintuitive. But just like you put it in a gel. Okay, I guess that. Okay, yeah, maybe he's the poor man's Unabomber. I don't know.
Quit
Jeez.
picking on that man. Quit picking on that man. See,
Yeah.
you want to have this conversation with me for a while. What you talking about, Willis?
Anyway, let's move on to something maybe more interesting. Here we are.
Huh? Like something else?
Yeah, a phony federal agent with fake K9 tried to question cops. Real cops say.
Nice.
Yeah. This comes out of Florida. Now, for those of you guys who don't know, Florida seems to be where you get most of the really kooky news from. Just news of the stupid, people just doing really dumb things.
Hang on, before you be here, all you got to do is read the headline. If you read the story, you're just gonna really mess me up. That was a funny headline. Give me another headline.
Well, hold on. I'm gonna read this because I don't want to
hear it. I'm trying to tell you.
I'm gonna see how deep this rabbit hole goes.
Leave me out of it.
No. You're in this with me all the way because I need other people to hurt with me. All right, because misery loves company. So this dude really goes the whole 9 yards. When Anthony Anselmo Ottaviano posed as a Homeland Security. Oh, good God. He posed as a Homeland Security officer. He apparently was dressed to the nines, sporting a canine handler shirt, canine warning stickers, and a dog was wearing a tactical-style vest, records show, reports Florida Today in Melbourne. He allegedly had strobe lights on his Impala and wore tactical-style gear. But Ottaviano evidently made a tactical error. He chose the wrong victim, a Palm Bay police officer, according to his arrest affidavit. Oh, Lord. And they got a link to the Florida Today site.
Don't click on it. Don't click on it.
Too late.
Read the next headline, please.
Yeah, because I like I said, we're gonna extract this for every bit of pain it's worth.
But that's not entertaining any longer. It's just sad and stupid.
Which is why I want to understand this whole thing.
Understand it on your own time, not ours. Don't drag us down here in your level.
What's all this we stuff?
I'm representing the rational people in the group who actually bother to listen to us live or post live.
Rational people shouldn't live here. They'd be happier someplace else. All right. The victim, it turned out, was an off-duty Palm Bay police officer who acted quickly, taking the man into custody before calling dispatchers to report the man's suspicious behavior. He went into the house and presented himself as a federal agent, but the victim was actually a police officer. We want to see if there are any more victims out there, said Mike Bandish, spokesman for the Palm Bay Police Department. Anthony Anselmo Ottaviano, a 36-year-old man who investigators said worked as a paramedic, was charged with impersonating an officer during the commission of a felony, attempted burglary at a after a Palm Bay police were called to the officer's home. He is being held on a $20,000 bond in Brevard County Jail, complex records show. This is, let me see here. Oh God, this is the second arrest of a person in less than a week who Palm Bay police said represented himself as an enforcement officer. Why do people do this?
Because people don't know the law and they're generally stupid and don't know how to ask the right questions and think they can get away with it. Also, allow me to add a little bit of levity and humor for you. Are you prepared? I think the best "what were you thinking, stupid" guy of all time, but he was the most perfect person to do it, was the 18-year-old guy who said, "I'm a doctor, come to my office for a free exam," and was taking on medical patients.
Yeah, the one who was actually he really did not have any medical knowledge. He was passing himself up as a gynecologist. I've heard of that one.
But wait, slow your roll. Gotta understand, even when they arrested him, you have to understand, he did not commit a crime. He committed one crime and one crime only. He didn't give medical advice, he gave medical exams, gynecological exams. He gave gynecological advice, not prescriptions, period. He assigned no one medication, and he didn't give anyone any false information that they didn't already have about themselves. He just felt like looking at vaginas for a while, and he was 18 years old.
That explains a lot,
His
and I do seem to remember that
his crime was this simple:
he wanted Punta.
soliciting patients to practice medicine without a license. That was his crime.
Well, that also can be. He could also be put up on charges of what you call sexual sexual misconduct.
Nope. Here's the reason why not.
He was pretending to be a doctor,
Stop.
looking up a girl's skirt.
But what? He didn't sneakily do it. He invited them into his office.
Impersonating a doctor isn't
Hang on.
sneaky.
No, hang on. He had an office. He was taking patients. He invited you into his office. He asked you, did you, hang on. He asked you, did you want an exam? You see, you keep wanting to interrupt. As I explained to you, he kept asking, do you want an exam? Everyone that wanted an exam was willing and did this free of their own free will, under the guise of him being a doctor, true,
And
but
he
they still did it. But he also did not inappropriately touch anyone. He didn't make a move for a date.
You can still be arrested for sexual harassment or sexual misconduct by taking up skirt photos of women.
But he took no photos. He took no X-rays. He only did visual inspections. He put on sterile gloves as he touched his patients. He did everything that a doctor would do. And he gave them a physical exam. That's it. He did not break the law.
He was looking for he impersonated a doctor as an excuse to look up a girl's dress. Okay.
No. So, see, watch this. You keep taking it a little bit further. No, he impersonated a doctor. Line in the sand. He attracted patients to build a practice. Line in the sand. He rented the space that he was working in, did not have a business license posted nor a medical degree posted. His only crime is impersonating a doctor. No other crime was committed. Also, he didn't touch anyone underage.
That doesn't mean anything. The person doesn't have to be underage for you to be arrested for sexual misconduct.
But watch this. You keep wanting to arrest him for sexual misconduct. You get arrested for sexual misconduct when you're doing something to someone that they don't want you to do. And they take offense of it. None of his patients said he did anything wrong.
Yeah, until they learned that he wasn't really a doctor.
Nope. No one came out of the woodwork and said, undo this, arrest him, and keep him in jail. No one said that.
Well, anyway, that's a kid impersonating a doctor. For this case, this guy's impersonating a police officer, and really, that's just one of those things that just never really fathomed. It's like, why do people do this? Well, I mean, what are they getting? What are they hoping to get from it? Is it a power thing? You know.
In the case of the young man pretending to be a doctor, he wanted to study medicine and he actually wanted to be a doctor. But he took the shortcut, which was the wrong thing to do.
It's not a shortcut.
Unfortunately,
That's not a
unfortunately,
shortcut. That's a jump off a cliff.
unfortunately, he will never get an opportunity to be one for a minimum of 7 years, and any clinic or location that would hire him has to disclose that he was arrested. But you have to understand the police actually did him a favor. They only arrested him for practicing without a license. Even the policewoman who had to arrest him said that he was congenial, kind, and a sensitive doctor, and that he didn't seem to do anything inappropriate. Think about that. That's what the policewoman said.
Yeah, okay, I understand that, but still, it's just really, really, really crazy. Anyway, speaking of really crazy, let me see. We got this other article here. Fort Lauderdale beach monitor spots 11 sea turtles and 1 brick of cocaine. I don't know if this is about somebody doing something really stupid, but this is just weird. So when Doug Finney walked into a bar at A1A about excuse me on A1A about 11 a.m. I think that might be a typo. Tuesday with an open kilo of suspected cocaine in his hands, he wasn't looking to make a sale or even worried about being arrested. In fact, he was looking for a cop. I finally flagged down an officer driving by, said Finney, 52, from Wilton Manors, and I showed him what I found. Finney made his discovery on the sands of Fort Lauderdale Beach during a routine nighttime patrols to volunteer with the Sea Turtle Oversight Program designed to protect the behemoth sea creatures during the summer nesting season. During his 4-hour patrol, he did spot 11 loggerhead turtles who swam ashore to lay eggs. But it was the drugs that made the night memorable. I was doing what I always do, said Finney, on summer break from teaching legal studies at online Florida virtual school. It was raining, the surf was crashing, there was a ton of seaweed on the beach, and when I saw this package the size of a brick, as soon as I picked it up, I knew what it was. Finney said he used a knife to slice open the package and found a white, sticky substance that Fort Lauderdale police dogs seemed to recognize as cocaine. When police received a call found narcotics, Officer Giovanni Morales responded according to records. Let me see. 3 officers were on the scene. All seemed rather blasé about the find, Finney said, but the patrons of a nearby bar just north of Las Olas Boulevard were excited, Finney said. They said, you found that right out there. Man, you should have given it to me, said Finney. Police made a report and took possession of the suspected cocaine, Finney said. Richard Whitecloud, founding director of the Sea Turtle Oversight Program, said a monitor found a bale of suspected marijuana while on patrol about 2 weeks ago. But coming upon contraband is rare, he said. Finney said when he cut the package open and got some of the product on his fingers, he was tempted to rub a bit on his gums, as he's seen done in the movies, but he refrained. You did the right thing, Finney, said the police told him. Okay, that one just ended kind of silly. But this just looked more like some people using the area as a drug drop-off. At first glance at the article, I guess it wasn't as weird or silly as I thought. But because I think that's just some area, some folks who were probably using it, the police drop off. But that does remind me of something that I did see that was really silly. I think it was I was watching Cops at one point in time, and this lady went to the cops and she was like, "This guy down." She was pointing to this guy down the road. He's selling drugs. He's selling drugs. And the cop was like, "Well, how do you know this?" "Because I went and bought this cocaine from him." You know, he showed it to the cops. The cop looked at the lady, looked at the guy way over there, looked at the lady, just kind of face palm for a second. There, he's like, "Ma'am, you just confessed to purchasing and possession of a controlled substance." And so he hauled her off with the guy. Oh, she was having a fit. It's like, no, I'm not. I don't do drugs. I just bought it from him so I can show it to you.
It happens sometimes.
Yeah, but some people really just don't have the sense God gave a flea. That was a serious "what the hell were you thinking" moment. You know, I don't know. A lot of people don't think. It's like those. It's like those people who go in the store and complain about something, and then they just get downright belligerent, just completely lose their crap, and make a just have a towering fit and make a scene and start breaking things. And you wonder, if this person just was already unbalanced, or this person was just crazy to begin. I mean, not crazy, but just had a really bad day. But this lady, I'm just wondering what the hell's wrong with her.
Well, here, sometimes situations are not what they appear to be, man. It's just one of those things. I mean, we do need to take that into account in sometimes in life, man. I mean, how often have you been in a situation where you've acted irrational?
Um, I
And here,
never had a situation where I could have
pause.
gotten arrested.
No, here, I'm not even joking with you. I'm serious. When have you ever been in a situation where you've acted irrational?
Well, yeah, I mean, we've all acted irrationally every now and again.
But for most people, it's a breakup. It's something is not right. It's a bad day. They're hungry. I mean, think about those opportunities when you're like goofy. You know, how often does it happen to you?
Uh, it's still just it still just makes me wonder why people end up just having a fit. Like I said, it may just be the person was having a bad day, but then you got some of those cases where you just realize that person's on drugs or they're already unbalanced. And I know the people who are mentally unbalanced who do crazy stuff like that. Um, and I mean, I know that this is just off a fictional show, but but I know some of these things are dramatizations of things that happen in real life. And I was watching ER one time, and this lady brought her son to the hospital saying he has a hearing problem, and has a hearing problem, and they were like, "What kind of hearing problem?" They did a whole bunch of tests on the kid, found his hearing was just fine, and he said, "But he can't hear Elizabeth," and they were like, "What do you mean? Who's Elizabeth?" And then she just completely her personality did like a boom switch. The Queen of England, and they like walked away from her to go and talk about it. You just saw in the background the lady having a conversation, actually just downright arguing with nothing. you know, and I remember they had to get the kid taken away from the woman, Child Protective Services, and they had to get like all the security in the hospital to hold that woman down. She was screaming, when they did that. So I was just like, wow, I mean, I've heard cases of stuff like that happening. You never thought you would see it even portrayed. But all that, I'm just saying is that just got my mind on that little tangent. So it's time to really go back to the crazy, the real crazy. And this is really one that's going to make you jaw hit the floor, man. Police blotter: woman driving without lights at 4:17 a.m. tells officers she can't see anything. Let that sink in for a second.
Say it again.
Woman driving without lights at 4:17 a.m. tells officer she can't see anything.
Winner.
Yeah. I mean, this is just one of this. File that under what? Let me see here. Crestview: a woman driving down Ferdon Boulevard with no headlights on at 4 in the morning, did not have a driver's license. Oh, sorry. This thing, the little video popped on. Hold on a second. Okay. Sorry, some of these news sites do that. Run the videos automatically. Okay, a woman driving down Ferdon Boulevard with no headlights on at 4 in the morning did not have a driver's license and was arrested, according to the Crestview Police Department. An officer spotted the woman driving south on Ferdon at 4:17 a.m. and gave chase, activating his emergency lights. The woman continued south at times swerving onto the curbside lane, then stopped at the intersection of Ferdon and McCaskill Street. The woman told the officer she was going home from a friend's house and to quote, could not see anything as she was driving. The officer wrote in the report. She also said that she didn't believe the officer behind her was trying to stop her. She had no license, registration, or proof of insurance, but she did give the officer a Florida ID card. Oh God. Do you remember a show called World's Dumbest Criminals?
I just thought it was a reflection of your state.
Wait, what?
I'm sorry. No, go ahead. I'm not familiar with it.
And no, this is in where was this? Is this another thing in Florida? No, this isn't Florida. This is Crestview, but they don't say the exact location. Anyway, the and no, this wasn't out of my neck of the woods. I've seen news out of Louisiana, but it doesn't get this crazy. No, I don't know where this is, but this lady's driving down the highway, and the cops try to pull her over. She said she didn't realize the cops were trying to pull her over, and she said I couldn't see anything, but her headlights were off. So this is one of those ones I just really wish they would have given a bit more detail, because I mean, like, you're not. Very few people are that brainless, you know. Something else had to been going on. Like I said, these are one of those cases where someone is just lost it. If you're driving down the road with no headlights, I mean, I've done that by accident before, but I wouldn't have been so dumb. So I couldn't see anything. It reminds me of this. Reminds me of this. What was I trying to say? Oh yeah, I was watching like one of those like things on True TV where they had the chase scenes, and they
Oh, you mean that guy who looks like he should be broadcasting for a denture commercial? Today on car chase scene, we're gonna see our buddy today, and I want you to watch the dumbest criminal in the world. That
no,
guy?
no, no, no. This guy looks all a little bit like Eric Estrada with grayer hair.
Yeah, he looks like he should be advertising for a denture commercial.
Well, anyway, I'm just saying it's
Anyway,
one.
quit marginalizing me because it makes you feel better. I marginalize you. Keep the order correct here.
Well, sometimes the tables turn, sir.
Never.
Anyway, they did one video from a police dashboard camera. They were they were following this lady who was driving down the highway, and I think she was speeding. But the old lady actually called 911, saying, "There's a car chasing behind me. I don't know what's going on. I'm scared." And they find out that it was the police officer trying to pull her over, and the 911 lady was trying to convince the elderly lady that it was a police car, and at first the elderly lady didn't believe her, and so could you tell him to turn off the lights? And when he turned off the lights, I think that was what happened. Is she finally realized that she was being pulled over. I'm just like, wow, when you're that completely, yeah. I mean, I hate saying this because I know that there may be a time where I get old enough and I'm not capable of behind the wheel anymore, and I know a lot of elderly people are like that. They drive. They want to be independent for as long as possible, but they get to a particular age where they just can't handle driving a car anymore. And I think this lady had kind of reached that point.
So
Because
not
when you're
only
driving down the road,
you're an ageist.
anyway, when you get to a point where you don't realize that that's actually a police officer. The lady thought that it was just somebody impersonating a police officer. Had no real reason to believe that. She was just scared, And it may not be that she was too old to be driving a car, but I just looked that she might have been, kind of at an age where she was not able to drive a car reliably. As much as I hate saying it.
No, you don't. If you hated saying it, you wouldn't have parted your lips.
No, you can say things that you hate saying, but it's still the truth.
Yeah, but you ain't always got to say them. That's the whole point of not saying everything you think.
No, it's not about
a concept.
Oh, well, it's not about whether it got to or not. It's just whether or not it's true.
Learn how to employ a filter sometimes, man. Am I loosely calling you that? I think so. But I don't say things that I don't mean. I say stuff that I do mean. Let's try this again with politeness. You are one unique brother, man. All I can say is the way that you approach things and what you find humorous would wind up in a Woody Allen film, not an Eddie Murphy film.
Wow. Well, I'm probably not going to be in any kind of movies anytime soon. Let me see here.
There is a
Had-
God, and He loves you.
okay. Not that.
Steve,
I found one. This is very simple, crazy.
see,
And
like this, you like Steve Harvey. You laugh at your own jokes before we get to know what they are.
I'm not laughing at my jokes. This is a joke the man made of himself.
Watch
Victor
this. Is the
Alex
one you get ready to
Etherington.
tell? What's the
Victor
joke you
Alex.
get ready to tell? Go. Wait.
Victory.
Hold on. Go ahead.
Victor Alex Etherington breaks into a woman's home and craps himself after the woman confronts him with her gun in Ocala, Florida. Oh, God. And this thing wasn't even genuine Florida news. It's just dumb news. A 27-year-old man was in intensive care Monday after being shot by a homeowner during a home invasion, investigators said. Deputies found Victor Alex Etherington naked and hiding behind the bedroom door. He had defecated on himself, the Marion County Sheriff's Office said. Let me see here. The full article right here. Oh, God. Oh, she shot him. Wow.
And she should have.
Yeah, I thought she just held him up with a gun. Let me see here. Yeah, a 27-year-old man was in intensive care Monday, after being shot by a homeowner during a home invasion. Deputies arrived to okay, let me see here. Defecated on himself. The incident happened Sunday evening when Etherington started knocking on the 54-year-old homeowner's window and demanded she let him in, deputies said. The victim was not identified by investigators. The woman told Etherington to leave, but he kicked in the door and chased her upstairs to her bedroom, deputies said.
Wait. Stop. Back up. I'm pretty sure at some point you told me what time of night this was occurring.
Let me see. It does not say what time of night.
But wait. First, he knocked on her window.
Yes.
Like, hey, it's me. Let me in. I want to hang out with you today. What you doing? Hey, are we watching Jeopardy or are we watching Conan? Okay, that's what he did.
I don't think that was. First of all, you don't go to a person's house and tap on their window unless you're trying to wake them up and it's an emergency, or unless they're asleep.
And then he kicked in her door. And then he chased her upstairs. Okay, see, knocking on the window and kicking in the door, I understand. But why would you chase her upstairs? I mean, did you have somewhere to go? Were you trying to save her? Was it a rescue attempt?
I'm pretty sure he was horny and desperate. That's probably the.
You've put your own feelings into this. I'm
Dude,
simply asking
there have been
questions.
people who have broken into elderly people's houses and sexually assaulted them.
This is true. You and I had a private conversation about elder abuse earlier this week that didn't end so well for the assailant.
Huh.
And that falls into the what were you thinking category. But we can't talk about that due to upcoming courtroom activity around that issue. But we'll get back to it later.
Well, the thing is, the article says the woman told investigators she locked the door, called 911, and armed herself with a .22 caliber handgun. She locked herself in the bedroom closet when Etherington forced his way into the bedroom, deputies said. Once inside, the man took off his shorts, which he had defecated in. This was even before the whole deal. Wow. And forced his way into the closet, at which point the homeowner shot him in the stomach. The sheriff's office report said. The intruder ended up with no clothes on in her bedroom, Lauren Letelier of the Marion County Sheriff's Office said. Deputies arrived and forced their way into the home and found Etherington naked and hiding behind the bedroom door, the report said. Etherington was taken to Ocala Regional Medical Center where he underwent surgery. Investigators said, let me see here. He was in the intensive care unit, but his condition was stable, they said. The homeowner did not know the intruder, but detectives... Okay, she didn't know the guy, so this probably was a nighttime invasion. This homeowner did not know the intruder, but detectives believe he lived in the home for about He lived in the home for about 12 years before moving, the sheriff's office report said. Deputies said the man was intoxicated in the wrong. Okay, that explains a lot. Okay, might not have been trying to sexually assault her, thank God. Let me see. Investigation of the incident is ongoing. Thus far, investigators have not been able to determine why Etherington broke into the home in the first place. Charges against the man are pending, the sheriff's office said. So he goes in the room, poops, and gets shot. I don't know where poop factored into this. I thought maybe he pooped because the woman pulled the gun out on him, but nope. He just went in and pooped. Then took his shorts off. But then again, he alcohol, so probably couldn't control his bowels.
See, all you gotta do is just stop right there. See, okay. Now watch this. I'm not gonna say much of anything. I'm going to share some information with you in a kind and generous way. All right. So you're talking about Darwin Awards. This is taken from the internet, and I'm simply going to share my screen if it allows me to, and I'm going to present it to everyone. Do you see the photograph in front of you? Does that make sense to you?
Unfortunately, that's a potential Darwin Award there.
But
I've seen that before.
But the caption says it all.
Sometimes you just see it coming. Yep.
Okay, so based upon that feature of this conversation, sometimes you just see it coming. Why?
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 Fortunately, though, this was not a Darwin Award. This was just him getting shot in the stomach. They said he recovered. Now, if it was a Darwin Award, he either would have been killed by the lady, or she would have blown off his manberries. So, because that's where Darwin Awards are given by, they remove themselves from the gene pool either by their own deaths or by removing something that is near and dear to him.
See, I'm just a fan of, idiocracy, things that just define themselves as self-explanatory. I mean, it just makes itself simple to understand why some people are removed from the gene pool. If you understand what I mean, some guys just go that extra mile to join that club.
Oh yeah, I mean that picture right there, that ain't nothing. You see, you want to really see people go hardcore, just go to DarwinAwards.com. I had one guy, it was in Sweden. These drunk guys decided to show off how tough they were, so they started injuring themselves, and then they got to the point where like they cut off parts of their body, like cut off a finger or something like that. But this one guy said that's nothing. He cranks up not a lawnmower, a chainsaw, and cuts his own head off.
Now, see, that's wrong. That's wrong. See, watch this. I wouldn't want to exemplify that kind of stupidity. So,
well, remember, alcohol. A great deal of alcohol was involved in this, by the way. So
here, man. We've prattled on for nearly 50 minutes about the ignorance of being ignorant. And
there's so much more to see.
No. It's not fun to see. It's not healthy. It's not creative. It's just, that feeling you get when you wake up in the morning and you go into the kitchen and it's a choice between eating Raisin Bran or Fruit Loops, and the healthy version of you is going Raisin Bran, and the kid in you is going, I'll take the Fruit Loops. And then you decide that you're going to do the right thing, and you pour the Fruit Loops into the bowl, and then you open the refrigerator and you find out that you're being punished because there's no milk.
Yeah, but it's still fun.
Okay, I'm just checking to see if you like that.
This is fun. Actress Selma Blair freaks out on a flight from Cancun, Mexico to Los Angeles. Began screaming, "He burns my private parts, he won't let me eat or drink," and continuing, "He beats me, he's gonna kill me." Blair may have mixed medication and alcohol, according to TMZ, whose sources said the 43-year-old was traveling in first class and drinking wine. Citing witnesses, the outlet said the actress suddenly started crying, saying, "He burns my private parts, he won't let me eat or drink," and continuing, "He beats me, he's going to kill me." And let me see, this is out of the Los Angeles Times. Okay. Selma Blair was hospitalized Monday after an incident on a flight at Los Angeles International Airport from Cancun, and on Tuesday afternoon she apologized for her behavior, saying she was filled with shame.
Are you saying
And
Selma Blair or Selma Hayek?
Selma Blair.
Okay.
I mean,
First,
I mean,
first off, I'm just going to ask all the stupid questions. Okay, Selma Blair is which actress? Why is she important to this conversation? And what makes her stand out?
I have no idea who Selma Blair is right off the top of my head. I might have seen her in a movie, but I'm just not good with names.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Here, watch this. I gotta ask and answer my own damn question. Come on, what are we supposed to be doing here? You're supposed to be up on this kind of stuff if you're gonna be reporting it. Selma Blair plays the fire chick in Hellboy. Does
Oh,
that
okay, her. All
zoom
right, I
in a
get.
little bit more for you?
No, no. Now I know who she is.
So
She looked like she was. Then it looks like she was baked.
she was what?
Baked.
Maybe, but her character's name is Liz Sherman,
And you
and
ruined my pun. Thank you very much.
I didn't ruin your pun. You just didn't deliver it funny enough. So I
No,
just skipped
you
over it
didn't
like a
hear
bump in
me.
the road. Hey, look, you're supposed to be the funny one. But I want to keep rolling because this comes closer to what we should be talking about, which makes it more funnier. Okay, for one, if you kind of notice that you didn't recognize her name up front and you didn't connect her immediately with who you think she should be or who she is, it's because currently she's a 43-year-old Southfield, Michigan mom who has acted in several movies with a very interesting and very funny Ron Perlman, and you couldn't even remember who she was real quickly. That's bad. So that means that one of three things was occurring. She was trying to get herself on the cover of TMZ and the Inquirer magazine or whatever the current movie star magazine is, so that you would be talking about her, so that she could go get a job.
Well, it wouldn't have worked with me.
Well, I'm just letting you know because her you didn't even realize that she also played Chris Jenner, which is a very appropriate role for her, in the most recent OJ versus the People.
Nope, never seen that.
Do you understand the correlation between Chris Jenner, who is Kim Kardashian's mother, and the O.J. Simpson trial?
Mm,
Do you know it?
the name sounds familiar. Aside from the Jenner that had a sex change operation.
Yeah, that's his wife. Chris Jenner is his wife.
Hmm.
But here you go. Here's the humor of this whole situation. At the O.J. Simpson trial, Chris Jenner was in the gallery with her then husband Bruce Jenner, who is now her wife Caitlyn Jenner. Her husband was one of the lawyers sitting with O.J. Simpson, and Chris Jenner was messing around at one time on the side with O.J. Simpson too. So she had her ex-husband working, her ex-boyfriend on trial, and her husband, soon to be her wife, sitting next to her at the O.J. Simpson trial. Now, see, that's information that you don't get every day, and that asks the question: what were you thinking? But that's pimp like a mother. I can't say that. I've been told by the management here that sometimes I use a little bit too much profanity. I'm a
Well,
little bit
maybe
too flippant.
maybe maybe Selma Blair got a little too much in the character then. That
Well,
gets
no,
you.
not so much. She didn't have any cosmetic surgery done to augment her Kris Jenner persona, but that's okay. But those are the things she's in. She's also in an upcoming movie called Mom and Dad. Now that sounds like a bad beginning. She's also coming up in a movie this year called Mothers and Daughters, which I think is already out. But when you're in movies that start out with classifications of parentage, like Mom and Dad Save the World, it may not be the next thing you want to be known for. but that's okay. But she's also slept with Charlie Sheen, so she may be, mixing her cocktail drugs a little bit too heavily there because she was also in anger management. Are you
Okay.
familiar with it?
Well, anyway, there's not much more to say about this. It just said that she probably mixed alcohol and medication. The article just kind of goes on to a whole bunch of inane details. And besides, I'm not a particularly big fan of TMZ because sometimes they blow things out of proportion. But, that's just me.
Well, TMZ is where you get your death notices for Hollywood at.
Get your what? Oh, definitely. Oh,
Don't you know that?
well,
Hasn't anyone told you?
well, I know that they were one of the first people to report on Michael Jackson's death.
The first person. They were the ones who were quoted by CNN. CNN quoted them.
Okay, let me see here. Oh, here's one. And this one is just like this is like an inception of Florida. All right, it says a Florida man who's either seen The Shining one too many times. Oh, by the article, it says burglary suspect gives shout out to Florida with a face tattoo. And I gotta show this. I gotta show this to you. I have to show this to you just so you will see just how absolutely crazy this is. Let me get back to where I was. This guy, look at that. Look at that face.
He looks so innocent.
He was asking for it. He's got a Florida freaking tattoo. I mean, really? Really, bro?
He's a Flow Rider fan.
Sorry, the only Flo Rida song I like is I Don't Like It, I Love It.
But you misunderstand. A Flow Rider song. You actually know one?
That's the only one I really know or really care for. Also, there's that other one where they have that little thing in the background where they're constantly sampling speeded up Alvin and the Chipmunks version of Piano in the Dark. Anyway, so the Florida man who's either seen The Shining one too many times or is being paid by a rum distillery to promote product was arrested Monday for burglary reported in March, and it was his body that ink did him. What? Oh, it was his body ink that did him in, the Sun Sentinel reports. Cops say surveillance video showed 25-year-old Jonathan Hewlett breaking into a house in West Palm Beach on March 21st with stolen items, including a fake Rolex, a real Michael Kors watch, and a gun, the Palm Beach Post reports. Clearly shown in the video, however, was the suspect's red rum neck tattoo. Actually, I don't see that in the video. Oh, wait, there's a video?
No, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't go.
I'm not about to click on that. Anyway, so where was I? Okay, there was a suspect's red rum neck tattoo, and a meta twist. Hewlett also has the state of Florida inked onto his temple, which likely also stood out. For non-Shining devotees, the detective who wrote up the report added some context to Hewlett's neck ink, writing, "The tattoo is on the left side of his neck and reads red rum. If you reverse the letters, it spells murder." And investigators were able to match the tatted man in the video with Hewlett based on an ID from the homeowner.
Stop. He just blah blah blah.
Okay, no, you just
Here, watch this. We can sum this up with a simple sentence. A guy with a Florida State shaped ink tattoo on his face, and the word red rum on his neck is an idiot. What more do you need to know?
It's not the fact that he's an idiot that really makes this just totally special. It's the fact that he was arrested in Florida. Florida seems to be the magnet for all the dumb in the United States.
Not true. Their education system is only the best that it can be.
As I was saying, Florida seems to be a magnet for all the dumb in the United States, and he has a Florida tattoo on his face.
But they have good party schools.
You can go to Lafayette here in Louisiana and find good party schools, and you don't have to worry about people doing crack.
Not gonna go there. Hey, would you end your screen share so I can tell you something and show you something?
I'll think about it.
Well, now that's okay. All right. I know that you may or may not be an NBA fan, but are you aware the basketball player from Chicago, Derrick Rose, has been traded to the New York Knicks? That means that he'll be playing with Amari Stoudemire, if they keep Amari Stoudemire, and Carmelo Anthony, giving the positions of 1, 3, and 5 the best opportunity in the East to probably go to the second round of the playoffs. Are you aware of that?
No, I'm not an NBA person, but I'll take your word for it.
Can you name the basketball player that's being shown on the screen at this time?
That's not a basketball player. That's Drake.
Oh, you listen to Drake music? Oh, I'm sorry. Now that was funny. Now that was a joke. That was a very well crafted joke.
Well, you're
See,
trying. No, you see, no, that's not a joke. That's you trying to cash in on my ignorance of sports.
no, that was a well crafted joke because, see, if you would have identified him as a basketball player, I would have revealed to you that no, you have it wrong. But the fact that you knew that it was Drake, that means that you listen to sad ass Drake music.
No, I just happen to know what Drake looks like.
And you listen to sad ass Drake music, or you wouldn't even know what he looks like. And you have to realize, I personally had to look at a tagline to make sure it was him. Because
I don't have to know who Shania Twain. I don't have to have listened to Shania Twain's music to know who she is. She was
but you
like all
have.
over the. She was all over the radio back in the '90s.
What was her hit song?
Well, she had several. One was "Man, I Feel Like a Woman."
See, you do listen to Shania Twain. It's
I
okay,
didn't
I
say
understand.
I didn't say
I
I
personally
didn't. I
don't.
said I don't have to have listened to her music to know who she is.
But you identified it correctly, I think. I don't know for sure because I don't listen to women's music on that level.
Well, with me, I'm just saying is that Drake is like all over the freaking place. I never listened to any Lil Kim stuff, but I know what Lil Kim looks like. Unfortunately, and now I know what she looks like now as well. Even more
I'm gonna catch hell for this. Little Kim doesn't know what Little Kim looks like until she wake up in the morning.
unfortunately. Congratulations, you said something that really made me laugh.
But I will also say this directly and personally about her. I don't care if she listens to this today, tomorrow, next month, next year, or next decade. I respect her willingness to be herself. I am sorry that other people feel that she is a confused person. Why you got to be confused because you metamorph yourself into being the person you want to be? Just because it doesn't look like who I used to look like doesn't mean it ain't me. Simple as that. I respect her for that. It has something to do with what I like or don't like. It's about how does she feel about herself when she wake up in the morning. See
Oh my God!
what?
I found another article. This
Why do you keep looking?
because this is what the show is all about. We're diving down the stupid rabbit hole, and my God,
We
this
won't
is.
be doing this again.
Oh yes, we will be,
We
but we're
won't.
not going to do it every day.
Oh, thank God.
Now, this one says, man tries to hawk drugs while in court.
Nice. That's a good place to sell weed at, though. If you're in a place where drugs are illegal, court is a great place to sell weed. Because, for one,
See,
everybody needs to mellow out.
says a 35-year-old man who showed up to the Pittsburgh traffic courtroom. By the way, you don't know if it's weed or not. The 35-year-old man who showed up in the Pittsburgh traffic courtroom Monday to face charges of driving under suspension was apparently feeling either very reckless or more or less invincible and invisible. The Atlanta Journal-Constitution reports that Christopher Durkin had wrapped up his hearing and was heading out of the room when he stopped to briefly talk with an unarmed man in the courtroom sitting area. A sheriff's deputy saw the interaction and told Durkin to skedaddle. But after Durkin left, his conversational partner approached the deputy and told him Durkin had asked if he wanted to buy any Suboxone, a narcotic used to relieve pain and treat opioid addiction. The deputy went out into the hall and found Durkin still hanging around with 2 unit doses of the drug on him. Durkin was arrested and charged with possession of a controlled substance and, thanks to his courtroom chat, possession with intent to deliver, the AP reports. As of Tuesday morning, he was awaiting arraignment at the Allegheny County Jail. And this is going to lead into the next one that we have. At least he didn't call 911 on himself. But that can wait for a moment. This guy in a courtroom, not sure if cojones the size of the Cajun Dome or brain the size of my pinky finger?
See, that's just a brain neutral move. That's all that was.
Would say you're kind of coming in kind of faint.
That's just a brain neutral move. That's all.
Brain neutral?
Yeah.
Yeah, you probably was driving it in neutral. Good God, in a courtroom. I mean, seriously, he couldn't have waited to get out the courtroom? Couldn't have waited? I mean, wow. See, I used to have one of my roommates. People used to think he was dealing. We kept on getting stopped by people asking us these weird questions, which we later learned was code speech that people asked certain drug dealers. You know, one time he said he was walking back to our apartment and somebody passed by him and pulled over by him in a parking lot and said, "Hey, what you know about that white baby?" You know, which was of course code speech for looking for cocaine. And another person asked like which way is magnetic north or something like that. It was some weird code speech. We just kind of looked at her and were like, what? And she just kind of looked like she freaked out. She's like, oh, never mind. Vroom, took off. At least those incidents were not in a courthouse. I mean, well, at least things got wrapped up all nice and neat. The old, the constitutional right that we have right to a speedy trial. You're gonna put him behind on a speedy trial right there. Got nothing to say about that one?
I was trying to let it go, but you're just not gonna let that happen. See, I
No,
was just trying to let that one go by because watch this. Your friend always got stopped with you while you were walking with him and asked, was he selling drugs?
no, it wasn't always with me. He was stopped. He was getting stopped on his own.
No. You like you said, you were there when it happened, right?
The first time, no. The second time, yes.
So maybe that he was selling drugs and he just didn't want to do business in front of you.
It wouldn't surprise me. The guy, he was interesting. Anyway, so yeah, I mean, this guy, courtroom.
I was just trying not to embarrass you.
Don't bother me. This guy, I didn't exactly leave him on the best of terms. So, yeah, you're not embarrassing me.
How long did you date?
Hey! I'm not. I think you got the wrong idea about me, kid.
You're the one who said you left him on bad terms. Dude, either one of three things. Either you were dating him. Watch this. Either you were dating him, you owed him money, or he was sleeping with your sister. That's the only time you say me and my dude don't hang no more. You see, when it's your buddy, you say we don't hang no more. When it's something else, you say we left on bad terms. What
No,
you think you're gonna file for? You think he's going to put you down as a reference on his resume? Come on, dude. There is no such thing as a friendship resume. Okay, turn in your friendship resume and let me see if your friends are cool. Man, I don't like him no more. I left him alone.
Yeah, you see, that's spoken like a true guy from up north. Don't know how we do things down here. It's for us. You say that you're not on good terms anymore. You can be talking about your friend. It ain't gay. All right. So let me see. Speaking of traffic, speaking of calling 911 on himself, because that's how that article ended. Because it was a link to this one, which I happened to see, and I gotta say this. This is just beautiful. Drugs are involved and doing something stupid. Oh God, yes. Stone drug traffickers call 911 on themselves. If the stupid were any more perfect, I think I'd cry. I don't know. They were hauling 20 pounds of pot. Wow, 20 pounds of pot. Okay. So it says it was an unusual 911 call that tipped off police in Rexburg, Idaho, that Leland Ayala Doliente and Holland Sward had entered the state with 20 pounds of marijuana. Because Ayala Doliente is the one who placed it. Oh God, he's the one who placed it. As the East Idaho News reports, court documents show that Ayala Doliente, 22, and Svard, 23, were hauling pot from Las Vegas to Montana when at some point they broke the cardinal rule of dope dealing. Don't get high off your own supply. Well, this article is explaining itself beautifully.
Wait. Slow your roll. Slow your roll. I need to go get some ice cream and popcorn for this.
Okay.
Because this is
Anyway,
going to get entertaining. So they were going from Vegas or Nevada to Montana. Is that what you said?
yeah, they were hauling pot from Las Vegas to Montana.
And they were in Idaho.
Let me see here. They
I'm just
tipped off the police in Rexburg, Idaho.
I'm double checking the information you're giving me. Because let me explain something to you that will make some sense. If you're now, I gotta be honest, if you're in northern Nevada, yes. In order to get to Montana, yes, you go through Idaho. But if you're in anywhere else Nevada, you don't go from Nevada to Idaho. You go from Nevada to Utah, where you drive the speed limit of 50 and be safe so you don't get pulled over. And then you go into Colorado, where weed is legal. And then you go straight north through Wyoming, where they're not really looking for weed, they're looking for meth. And so the police will leave you alone for the most part. And if you look kind of native or Latin, they really don't mess with you about weed unless they want your money. So you go through Wyoming, and at the end of Wyoming going north is Montana. What the hell are you doing going through Idaho? That was a mistake in the first place before you started getting high. Learn your geography and how to drive. Next.
Okay. And seriously, you just told people on the internet how to safely traffic drugs out of Las Vegas.
No.
Yes. Congratulations.
Listen to what I'm going to tell
you. Told the internet how to commit a crime.
No.
Booyah.
Let me explain to you what I did do. I explained to you what states you can drive through that they're not necessarily looking for you if you have large quantities of marijuana.
You told the internet how to commit a crime.
But you have to get out of Nevada first.
You told the internet how to commit a crime.
Only if you keep saying it. And if you wouldn't have said shit in the first place, we wouldn't be talking about it still. But that's
I'm saying it because it's true.
Watch this. I'll give you more legal information and advice that you really, truly do need to know if you're going to take the route that I suggested. In the state of Wyoming, which is true, Wyoming now has a card reader that if you are pulled over by the police and they take the cards out of your wallet, they can seize your cash and capital on the spot, and you have to prove that it's yours to get it back. Oh, and that comes with a fee, and they charge you 7.5% above that because the people who made the machine gets paid every time they run it.
You still told the internet how to commit a crime. I'm going to move on now.
Shouldn't have stopped. It wasn't a speed bump.
So they were hauling pot from Las Vegas to Montana when at some point they broke the cardinal rule of dope dealing. Don't get high off your own supply. They came to believe incorrectly that undercover cops were following them. We're two dumbasses that got caught trying to bring some stuff through your border, and all your cops just driving around like a bunch of jackwagons, and I'd just like you guys to end it. Ayala Doliente tells the dispatcher in an audio of the call obtained by the news. I'm not going to play back the audio. The entire exchange sounds very much like a deleted scene from Pineapple Express, notes the New York Daily News. Other highlights. They asked if they had weapons. Ayala Doliente says, no, just a bunch of snacks and stuff. They also have really nice pit bull. Oh, cool, says the dispatcher who plays the call perfectly, at one point asking, what was your name, man? Speaking to Sword, Ayala Doliente says to the dispatcher, "He's a nice guy. Want me to jump in the air and click my heels twice or what?" Regarding the Phantom undercover cops, Ayala Doliente says, "We tried waving them down, that didn't work." Ayala Doliente and Sward were each charged with felony drug trafficking, given that their haul had a street value of $16,000, reports the Idaho State Journal. Sward received a 5-year suspended sentence, 5 years of probation, and a month in jail. Ayala Doliente, who tested positive for pot, cocaine, and oxycodone on his November sentencing day, received a year and a half to 8 years in prison. This guy called 911 on himself, too. Oh, God. Wait a minute. What am I seeing here? Oh, okay. This is just another article about somebody who called 911 on himself. I'm not going to do that again. Okay, I'm not going to dig the rabbit hole that deeply. just wow. They they called the cops on themselves because they were stoned. And you, sir, told the internet how to commit a crime.
I didn't tell anybody anything, and I strongly advise against doing it. If you choose to do it, that's your business. I just told you where it can be done at.
I'm going to be searching the internet to see if anybody did.
But also, since you're bus tossing me, let me finish helping you bus toss me. If you decide to go out there and do this on your own without any provocation from me and think that you can truly get away with it, good luck to you. Because here's a piece of information that you don't have. If you're driving a modern vehicle that is made after 1996, the odds are that the vehicle is so efficient that a drug-smelling dog can smell you up to 3 miles away because of the way that it filters the air through the exhaust pipe. Now, did you know that?
Speaking of drug-sniffing dogs, why it's unwise to grow pot 700. Excuse me. Why it's unwise to grow 734 pot plants near drug dogs. Vienna police say they have discovered a plantation with more than 700 marijuana plants at a warehouse close to a police dog center. Police say one of their dogs caught a whiff of the plants in the Austrian capital's Floridsdorf district on a Friday morning. Officers then saw a man taking a hose into the warehouse and searched the premises, finding 734 cannabis plants. They said in a statement Saturday that they also found 32 sacks stuffed with deep frozen marijuana and a bag full of dried marijuana at the 27-year-old suspect's apartment. Police say the man is denying wrongdoing. Spokesman Roman Haschlinger said the Austria Press Agency told the Austria Press Agency that the suspect comes from outside Vienna and might not have known that a police facility was nearby. Well, in this case, I guess you could still just chalk it up to just plain ignorance. But that's still kind of funny. Is that they sat there and grew, weed plants near where a drug-sniffing dog lived.
But here's the other thing about marijuana. In here, a moment of seriousness. I'm not going to quote all the hemp fest things about marijuana that are all true, by the way. I'm just going to ask a very simple baseline question about marijuana. What's wrong with it?
What, growing weed?
No. What's wrong with the product that it makes?
Oh, well, I don't want to turn this into an advocate.
I'm asking a question.
What's wrong with the product? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah. What is wrong with here? Is your objection to marijuana moral, political, legal, ethical, or other? What's wrong with it?
Why do you assume that I haven't? Why do you assume that I haven't?
I'm asking a question. You get to answer it.
I don't have an objection to marijuana. I'm actually technically for the legalization of it.
Well, technically you're not. Either you're for it or you're not.
I said I'm for the legalization of marijuana.
Okay. My original question maintains. Either tell me there's nothing wrong with it, or tell me what is wrong with it. What is wrong with
I don't think there's anything wrong with it,
it?
except
Okay,
that it makes you dopey. But that's it does that, you know.
well, that's what it's supposed to do. It
Yeah.
also help, it also
Well,
really does help cancer patients gain appetite.
yep. It's been known to help people glaucoma, certain types of cancers, all kinds of different things actually. The only
And
reason why they made it illegal is because it was a direct competition in the textile industry, and they managed just to get that they managed to get it made illegal and made a huge propaganda campaign against it. So
well, looking forward, that the state of Washington and the state of Colorado have both made it legal. And I think not this Senate round, but I think the next one that California is going to give in.
down here in Louisiana, they legalized it for certain medical uses.
So that means that so that means that you guys are going to go ahead and cave in as well.
More than likely, sooner or later, they will.
But what will that do to your region? I don't mean the state. I don't mean the country of Texas. I mean the states to your immediate east and north, which are Arkansas, Alabama, and Mississippi.
That I don't know.
And just in your opinion,
I don't know. I know Texas has a tendency to be hard headed about just about everything. So I don't know what they're going to do.
no, no.
Um,
I
they're
left Texas. I left
extremely
Texas.
conservative.
I immediately left Texas out of this conversation
You
because
said Texas, Arkansas, and Alabama.
no, I did not. I said let's leave the country of Texas out of this.
Oh, it's a country of Texas.
The states in your region immediately to your north and to your east, which are Arkansas, Alabama, and Mississippi.
Like I said, I really have no idea. I don't really look Arkansas rarely ever pops up on the news. Mississippi, rarely for anything good, unfortunately. So,
Mississippi has an opiate problem. It just does. It covers it up really well because Florida takes all the heat. But Mississippi has an opiate problem, and they know they do, and they're trying to work through it. And God bless their soul, they may be the first ones to succeed. But Florida takes all the heat, and what I mean by Florida takes all the heat, every news story you've pretty much have gone across has originated in Florida. They are the superstars of the meth up, and that's where it comes from. And then your neck is also Oklahoma.
Louisiana, it's always the big thing has mostly been weed. So,
No, no, but I'm saying your neighbors around you, as far as states, that would most likely have interference, an issue, an interaction, or a downside with the legalization of marijuana based around it having in the past been a gateway drug. It has also been a massive, massive moneymaker for them in the detention industry because it's easy to detain someone on a product that really doesn't hurt anyone. It's physically lightweight. You can have a lot of it, and it can be densely packed. But yet, no one ever goes out and gets high on weed and does any of the crazy things that you do on both cocaine and methamphetamines. So it's just one of those things. It's easy to imprison people for a victimless crime.
ah, okay.
Whereas there are victims included in things which lend to lend themselves to being opioid in base. And opiates have been a deterrent since the late. Woo, opiates have been an issue since the century in the United States, but it has also been a massive problem in the 19th in the 19th and 20th centuries. Your turn to talk again about nothing.
Well, all right. So with the heavy stuff out of the way, back to something that is a bit funnier and probably more than just a bit gross. Brilliant thieves suck bus fuel. No, sewage. This reminds me of something I saw on America's Dumbest Criminals, but I'll get back to that in just a moment.
Stop.
Turns out, no, I
Stop.
gotta do this.
No. Just please don't. Just
Yes.
please. I'm begging you. Don't.
What, are you that easily grossed out? Okay, then that means go ahead.
No, it
Turns
does
out,
not. No, it does not. Think through the factor of having to listen to this again in the future. And think about the preamble which you've entered into this with, and to know that only you know what comes next. Let's leave it that way.
no, this is not the thing I was looking at on America's Dumbest Criminals. This is something different,
I'm,
though the same.
I'm asking you to not do this one. And you're like, yeah, it'll be cool. Yeah, it'll be cool.
Well, you asked so nicely, but I gotta nicely say no. I'm gonna do it. Turns out,
Hang on, before you begin, I need to give you this disclaimer that comes with this. If you begin to do this and you continue to read this, you'll be sitting here by yourself for the next 30 minutes.
so you're serious? You're that serious about not wanting to do this one?
I was polite as I could be. Now I'm threatening. No, I'm not threatening. I'm promising. I'm like a parent who's told you I'm gonna whoop your ass later.
Well, we can always end this early. Fine. Well, I won't do that one. You're a killjoy.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not. I am the bastion of good taste.
I've seen this done on several things. There have been several incidents where this has happened, similar and yet different. That would have been no different. Anyway, let's try this one. Kidnapper could be the dumbest criminal of the year. He allegedly scheduled a meeting with the victim and actually showed up for it. If he can survive the remaining 340-some days of the year, he will definitely win the dumbest criminal of the year. Philly.com quotes Police Chief David Splain. The dumb criminal in question is Pennsylvania's 17-year-old Jason Hayes, who is charged with kidnapping and robbing an old woman at gunpoint. Police say Hayes entered the victim's home through a window early January 3rd and woke her up by poking her with a gun. According to Fox 29, when she didn't have any cash to give him, he allegedly made her drive to an ATM. Philly.com reports. Police say he wanted $2,000, but the ATM would only let the victim withdraw $460. Hayes allegedly had the victim and her husband at gunpoint in their kitchen for another hour or so before telling the victim to meet with him in a parking lot the following morning with $1,500. One of these. Oh, God. Not that we would believe that a robber would have ever showed up for a scheduled appointment, but it was something we had to cover, Philly.com quotes Splain. Not only did Hayes show up, but he was wearing the exact same clothes the victims had described from the previous morning. Unfortunately for him, it was the police and not the victim who was waiting for him. According to Fox, Hayes allegedly had $363 and what appeared to be the victim's watch on him when he was arrested. Police say Hayes threatened to kill the couple multiple times, including if they went to the cops. They are scared to death of him. Hayes is facing 11 charges, including robbery and kidnapping in connection with the incident. He went back to that. Oh, good Lord.
So a real life Debo.
Wait, a real life what?
Debo.
I'm not following you.
You know, man, are you sure that's a photograph of you?
Excuse me?
You don't know who Debo is?
No, I do not know who Debo is.
Come on, Craig.
And see, you forgot my name.
No, I ain't forget your name. But anybody else who ever listens to this for the rest of eternity is gonna be cracking up about right now.
Okay, now instead of trying to emasculate me, go ahead and tell me who Debo is.
Debo is a character in the movie that everybody has seen but you.
What movie?
Friday.
Oh, I've seen some of Friday. I ain't seen all of it.
I won't even ask why.
Because the movie just didn't interest me?
I won't even ask why. I'm trying to let you off the hook and be gentle. And you just like, wait, I'm a fish. Don't let me off the hook. Put me back on. No, don't let me off. I need to get caught. Stop.
Well, so what did Debo do?
Finish watching the rest of Friday and you'll get the joke, Craig.
Anyway,
That reminds me of something else. We'll come back to that in a few minutes before we get there.
well, the thing about it is that this reminds me of these folks who went to a tire place. They tried to hold it up, and it was like early in the morning. They didn't have any money in the till, so the folks kind of looked at first like they didn't know what to do, and they said, well, "What time are you gonna have money in the till?" And the people said, "Yeah." They're like, "We don't have money in the till probably until like in the afternoon." Okay, well, we'll come back later. Have the money for us. And they leave, and so they call the cops. Sure enough, these guys not only come there, they call before they come saying you got the money, and and it's a different person. It's a cop undercover. He answers the phone saying, "Yeah, we got the money," and they actually show up at the place and they get arrested. I'm like, wow.
The fact that you find this entertaining,
Of course, I find it entertaining. The fact that it's not me makes it all better.
I just have to back up and review. I just gotta back up and review. It, it's there's just some things that don't make sense in the world, and
Oh yeah, this guy doesn't make any sense right here.
that falls into that category.
What category?
It just doesn't make sense. It
I know that's the beauty of it.
this has been a horrific, entertaining, yet ludicrous, and I don't mean Chris, I mean ludicrous, colossal, incredibly incredulous foray into insanity.
That's why it's called Great Moments. And what the hell were you thinking? Let me see here. So much dumb news, so little time. Too bad you don't want me to read the other. You didn't even know what that other one was about, and you didn't want me to read it.
You're correct. You're correct. And I'm just trying to be as gracious as possible to make it through this. I'm trying to fulfill my contract. Because, oh my goodness. You have placed some quite unique images in my mind. And I have to say, it has proven to be an amazing foray into, I don't know, I don't have the right set of words to completely express what I completely need.
I should have read the blog of Azrael's "I'm a Japanese school teacher." It would have destroyed your brain.
No, it really wouldn't have because my brain's not destroyed. I'm just reflecting upon.
Reflect on what we are as a species of people
No,
doing this kind of stuff. This is why aliens won't visit us.
no, it's not that. This just falls into this just falls into. Wow, man, really? I want to see the best in people. I want to meet intelligent people. I want to be with upward, mobile, mental, advancing information. I don't want to hear about the dumbest one moment short of losing a chromosome kind of people in the wrong way. I know in here it is not the correct phrase. In fact, I'm going to go to a location that will give me the correct words to say it the correct way.
You see, the thing is, you're saying you want to look us, you want to talk about stuff that's uplifting and all that kind of stuff. You see, this is uplifting in a way because it tells you what not to do.
No, it doesn't. At no point did you say don't do any of this. You went, these people did this. It was really stupid. But it's funny.
Hey,
Let me
at least
tell
I'm
you
not like
about it.
at least I'm not like you who actually told people how to commit a crime.
But you know what? If you're dumb enough and that's your MO, it doesn't matter if I tell you how to do it. It matters that you actually would go do it. Watch this. I'll give you a piece of information that is criminal. And this is a verifiable fact. This is criminal. If you so desire and choose to walk into any public facility that carries money that has FDIC insurance, even though it doesn't have the word bank on the exterior of it, and you allude to robbing the place, such as you say, I'm here to steal, or I this is a stick up, give me the money. Even if they don't have any money, you are prosecuted as a bank robber. Are you aware of that?
Yeah.
Because the FDIC insurance structure being a federal crime, you go to federal jail. In fact, you go to the local facility lockup and you are instantly transferred into the hands of the FBI, and you find yourself with the federal marshals, which they have better food. If, on the other hand, you walk into any other facility that deals with money, be it a check cashing place or a check lending place, you say this is a stick up. For one, you might get laughed at, especially if you're in the hood. Then, when you're arrested, you're taken to either the city or the county jail, and you sit there for 30 to 45 days until you get your speedy trial. And then you're brought before the judge, and the judge is laughing at you at this point, secretly, behind his hand. And then you're sentenced to minimal amount of time. Whereas if it's a federal crime, you get a minimum of 5 years. And for each count or each threat that you implied or how many people were in the building, you could get 5 years for each person who worked there. So, for example, if you walk into a bank and there are 10 tellers and you rob one teller, they can give you consecutive rolling sentences for as many tellers were in the bank because they would have all had to give you money. So that means you robbed each and every one of them or attempted to rob each and every case in point. But if you walk into a check cashing place and do such the same thing, you are only judged by the fact that you tried to rob that location. Information, illegal, informative. Know your laws. Know your federal law from your local law. Know the difference. And what I was about to say, and the reason that I took the time to say it a different way, is people who have learning disabilities or are termed as special, which I do not like, who have been previously referred to as retarded, which is a correct legal term, which no one likes anymore, but it is applicable. Folks who have learning disabilities, Down syndrome, dyslexia, ADHD, I already said that once, and autistic and anywhere on the Asperger's scale seem to be more intelligent than the people whom you describe. And they seem to be more willing to be citizens, more willing to be forthright, hardworking people, more willing to do the things correctly in order to live a good life. You think it's what not to do? Look at the people who actually you would think would have those problems but don't. That's a more uplifting story to me. And that's what I want to be more engaged in. I want to hear about I want to hear about not necessarily the kid who got a full ride scholarship at 14 years old to a university. Yeah, he's the special kid. And no, I don't want to hear about the Montessori school where everybody scored SAT advantages. I want to hear about that single student who went to Chicago public schools, who pushed their grades up enough and didn't go to a special magnet school and got a full ride scholarship. That's who we should be talking about. We shouldn't be sitting here talking about these idiots. They get enough play anyway. And you know they do. I want to talk about that person who is going to St. Louis University on a full ride 4-year academic scholarship out of Chicago public schools. I want to talk about that kid in Louisiana who has always had a lifelong dream of going to UCLA and living their dream. That's who I want to be talking about. But yet, we waste our time talking about these curmudgeonly, idiotic, uninteresting, unthought provoking people. And you relish in it, you thrive in it, and you've had a joyous time doing it. Huh. What does that say about you?
You know, I had to refrain from playing like violin solo music while you did this because I'm just here. I'm just doing this to have fun right now.
Yeah, but you know what? It ain't fun.
Not for you, maybe, but it's loads of fun for me.
It's not even fun for you. You just think it is because you're used to it being fun.
Dude, I like that. Are you a mind reader?
Yeah, but I mean, think about it. If this is your idea of fun, why do you uplift anyone?
I never said this was going to be uplifting to anyone.
No, I ask a question. I didn't accuse you of not uplifting anyone. I said, where do you uplift anyone?
Oh, we have our time for that. Today is not one of those times. So
Well,
let me see. We have about.
You have a world stage and a world platform where you can expound any information into the universe forever and ever more. And
yes, I know. And today I choose to expose stupidity for stupidity.
And I ask why.
Because it's fun. Whoops. Hang on a second.
We've already covered the fun part of this aspect, but I'm trying to find the deeper reason. Where's the growth at in this?
Yeah, it's not about growth. It's just about fun.
Huh. I don't get that.
Now we only have about a little bit more than actually 15 minutes left. So we might be able to squeeze one or two articles left in here. There is one particular
You're
one.
not gonna stop, are you?
Nope.
You have an opportunity to be this redeemed individual, this person who finds the best situations and the best things. We could be talking about desert roads. We could be talking about
we can have all that next time we do a show. Today we're doing what the hell were you thinking? Not somebody wins an award. Now,
well, not even somebody wins an award because they are winning awards. They're winning awards of being the highest level stupid person you could find.
Yeah, it's a dubious award, but it's still fun. All right, Collier man's misuse of 911 leaves neighbors perturbed. It says Collier County man called 911 on Monday night because his girlfriend wouldn't buy him vodka. He told dispatch his neighbors were fighting and yelling. He called 911 because his girlfriend wouldn't buy him vodka. So when deputies showed up, there was no yelling and there was no scene. Deputies said it was a prank, and neighbors said it wasn't funny. Each time a deputy is sent to a non-emergency call, there's taxpayers' dollars spent and the officer's time wasted. We got a hold of a 911 call. The operator asked, Collier County, what is the state of your emergency? He says, sorry, it's not what I call a true emergency, but it's the same BS. And so basically it's a conversation between him and the operator, basically him pulling stuff out of his behind about basically some disturbance, but it wasn't a disturbance. It was him calling 911 because his girlfriend wouldn't buy him vodka. Now, according to the report, caller Jack Means was drunk. He was angry when his girlfriend wouldn't buy him alcohol, so he decided to call 911. He went to his house tonight and asked us to leave. The more time that is being spent on going to these calls that are not 911 related, somebody's life could be in danger, said Naples resident Leslie Coburn. Now, there's funny, moments of what the hell were you thinking? And then there are moments that make you want to take the BFG to this particular person.
Well,
And this is one of those
not
people
necessarily.
that, excuse me?
Not necessarily.
Well, this guy right here, he was drunk and he just wanted to get back at his girl because she wouldn't go buy him liquor. And so he decided to abuse 911.
He can use
911 is an
911.
911 is an emergency number that you call for real emergencies. And yeah, I've heard of people abusing this kind of stuff. And yeah, that's one of those little things, news of the dumb that does make you pretty angry because you're wasting the time of law enforcement officials and for petty crap. And then there was, and this reminds me of something that had been going on. I think it still is going on, unfortunately. You have people like playing multiplayer video games, and they get angry at certain people. And what they'll do is they'll get their personal information and actually call the local authorities to say this person's got a lot of weapons and is doing terrorist activities, and they'll call SWAT teams on them. It's called swatting. And these people think it's cute, they think it's funny, and it's not funny or cute at all. And thankfully, some of these guys who have done this swatting thing have gotten their behinds arrested and thrown in prison because of it. Because it really wastes thousands of dollars of police manpower. And then calling 911 may not necessarily be as big of a waste, but it's still a waste.
Well, here. I'm going to approach this like an adult. And why am I echoing? I'm going to approach this like an adult. Is making a bogus 911 call a bad thing? Yes, it is. Is it a childish and juvenile thing? Of course it is. Who could think that it's not? But it depends on what the crime stats are in a specific community in order for the police to say that you're wasting their time. In a small community like I currently live in, to call the police is not a waste of time. In fact, they'd enjoy the phone call because that means that they have something to do. Other areas are not so fortunate where their police departments can leisurely choose what phone calls to answer and what not to answer. So this guy that you used as the example, looking back at why he called 911, he needed his ass whooped. Looking back at his action for calling 911, I think that he needs to be given a sobriety class and have to take it on a regular basis in order to maintain his citizenship. He needs to stay sober. If not, transport his ass to Canada. And if Canada won't take him, send him to Ireland. It's okay to wake up drinking there. And that's not a joke. But to side with the propagandist position of the news article that you read that states it's a waste of time for the police, it's a waste of time to make that call and for them to come out there and they waste money. That is designed to tell people who vote and pay taxes that your money was being wasted. Make sure that people don't do this. 911 has something better to do. Well, then show me your crime stats if that's what you want me to do. See, even the dumbest phone call and conversation makes me stop and go, there's a serious side to this. And that's where you should be focusing your attention at. Your turn.
And let me see. We'll top out our time with this last little nugget of joy. It says a police blotter, man with hundreds of dollars, says he can't pay for beer, then urinates on himself. So this is another person who is...
That's not a news story.
Yes, it is.
No, it is not.
It absolutely is.
What I mean by that is not a news story. What's the news that you're trying to share?
Okay, a man who displayed several $100 bills said he had no money for the beer he bought, then urinated in his pants, police and witnesses say. A man entered the Wings of Fire restaurant on James Lee Boulevard and ordered a pitcher of beer, according to his Crestview Police Department arrest record. An employee said the man was lucid and coherent from the time he arrived. Hang on just a second. Playing. Okay, he was lucid and coherent from the time he arrived. The man finished 3/4 of the pitcher, then ordered 3 beers for other customers. When he was later asked to pay for the beer, the man became belligerent and claimed he had no more money even after displaying several $100 bills, the report said. The man was using foul language, said, if you want to, redact it with me, I have a 9mm in my back pocket. I have been to jail and I'll kill a redacted if they redact it with me. When police arrived, the man was outside the restaurant. An officer said the man's pants were wet with urine, his eyes were bloodshot, and he was unable to stand on his own. He was charged with disorderly intoxication and has a June 8th court date. See, when I first saw the title of this article, I just thought that the guy was just a cheapskate or something like that. But no, it was just plain old drunk. That's just beautiful. Not wanting to pay his tab, then peeing on himself. I mean, he's gonna when he looks at himself the next day, he's gonna wonder what happened, and then what. I mean, these people who do these pants on head stupid things when they're drunk, they must have to look at some of the unbelievable stuff they do the next day and realize just like, do they even think that maybe they shouldn't drink? When they're that dumb or drunk.
Maybe he couldn't pay for his beer. Maybe it was his rent money.
Well, they didn't say that, so I'm
But
assuming that it.
You're not supposed to ask that question because that would make sense. And that would give credence to the fact why he said he couldn't pay. And that would be the end of the story. And it would just be
Yeah, that would be you killing. That would be you killing my buzz.
You shouldn't have walked into the establishment and ordered the stuff. Now, you created a problem not only for yourself but for others who walk in the business after you. Now, what else you got?
You're killing my buzz. That's what that was.
I told you, this shit ain't funny.
No, it's funny. You got to develop a taste for that.
I've been an adult for a long time. Fart jokes no longer make me laugh. And really,
well, fortunately, this wasn't a fart joke, and it really wasn't. The peeing part didn't make me laugh. Well, okay, it made me laugh a little bit, but no, I was just, kind of more, kind of
like
scratching over the fact that he had stacks of C notes and couldn't pay for the food.
Like I continuously tell you, there's usually only one adult in the conversation between you and
I. Yeah. Okay. Anyway.
It's okay. I give you permission to agree.
Well, anyway, this looks like that's pretty much all we have for today, everybody. Thank you once again for checking us out, the Nameless Nerds. We are nerds. We are nameless. You don't have to be nameless, but always be a nerd. Remember to hit us up at nerdsnameless@gmail.com. Thank you very much for checking us out again, everyone. Good night.
Hang on a minute. I'm not going to let you end the show without me being the adult in the conversation. You can't end the show.
Too late.
You have to understand something. No, you ain't got to belay nothing. If you want to sign off, I can carry a show by myself. I haven't.
I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
I'm the one who needs help with this. I'm the smarter between the two of us, and I'm the more mature. Because I just listened to you rattle on with a third grade joke for the last, 2 hours? Come on. I can't get 3 minutes in? Man, let me explain something to you. There are people out there right now who are sitting in their homes listening to this, driving down the street in their cars, listening to this and going, how come the other guy isn't talking this more? Because the other guy thinks that this was really stupid. And I don't mean stupid as in not intelligent.
That's okay. The other guy is the other guy is entitled to be wrong.
And when I say uninformed, I mean uninformed. I mean, think about it. There's so much going on in the world. We could have talked about gene therapy. We could have talked about space exploration. If you want to talk about ignorant things, we could have talked about people who are minus a couple of chromosomes, who don't have full mental faculties, and exactly what that means and what the care of them takes for. We could have talked about how ignorance is displayed within comedy, such as the Three Stooges, which are classic now. But if you want to see the same type of comedy, look at the Kings of Comedy and also the Redneck Comedy Tour. They both expound on what ignorance appears to be like, and we go forward from there. And then we could have wound up the show very articulately and nicely with, and in the future, if you'd like to contact us and give us your show ideas as well as your personal comments, you can contact us at namelessnerds.com. There'll be a handy link there that'll connect you to our Gmail. Our Gmail is nerdsnameless. at gmail.com. We look forward to hearing from you more often, and we hope that we make you a regular listener. Thank you for giving us your time this evening. We'll see you next week, same time, but the intelligent guy will do more talking.
The intelligent person who has no sense of humor. Good night, everybody.